Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Carl Experience Season 2, Episode 23. This episode might end up being really short. I'm not sure yet. And that's my wife's phone you can hear going off in the background. You just got to deal with that because we have the air conditioner in the living room. We moved it from my youngest's room because if she's not there, why is the air conditioner there? And yeah, now if you hear a noise in the background, it's the air conditioner. I keep on looking over here because I'm used to the camera being over here, and now for this episode, it's over here. So if you will, forgive me on that. This is the episode. This is part 2 of Music and What I Like. So if I end up trailing off into something stupid, please forgive me, or you can holler out your opinion about that. I'm going to write down a few ideas for another podcast or two tonight because society has made me question my sanity, and the way I figure it is not my sanity, it's the stupidity of everybody else. You can mark me if I'm wrong. Let me know. I don't care. Shout out on the YouTube video. That's what it's there for, right? Okay, now, I already covered this, but I'm going to cover it again. Music and What I Like, Part 2, is music critics, and I really, really don't like the music critics nowadays. A lot of the music critics I hear about I've researched like a few of these guys, and quite a few of them are failed artists. Now, the guys who are successful 30 and 40 or even plus decades artists who now critique music tend to have a little bit more to say as far as why something was bad instead of why it was good. I go by most of those. If a professional is critiquing it, then yeah. But yeah, it really does piss me off. I knew a guy who claimed he was a music critic, and he went to a concert and he said that some kid sold him the rights to a song for a cigarette. Now, I don't know how true that is, nor do I care, but this person also claimed that their songs weren't worth crap, and I asked him to bring the demo tape up to the boombox we had at the time at the house we were living at the time. This is before I got with my wife and all that crap. This is when my kids were still tiny. I listened to the music, and he was the critic. He's this wealthy gay kid from Louisiana, claims to be a black magic expert and all this other crap. And he gave this kid a cigarette because the kid needed a cigarette, was willing to give the rights away to a song. I listened to their demo tape, and it wasn't anything hugely special. There was like one song that had actual promise to it. But yeah, this kid this young, I guess he was like 22, 23 at the time. He was very used to people listening to him because his parents had money, but he didn't. So he was very entitled, very well off, very overprivileged. I listened to their tape, and I told this kid what tracks were good and what tracks weren't. And I don't recall the name of the band for the life, but the band has since been signed to a contract. And this kid who was dissing them, he was telling me that these kids don't belong anywhere. They're not real musicians. They don't have it. And I straight up, I probably just pissed him off because it's like, dude, you're not a singer. You're not a songwriter. And you also don't know good music. Because I listened to some of the music he listened to. You know, I listened to it to get his ear of music. That boy could not pick a song if you flat out kicked him in the balls with it. He does not know music. I told him it bordered on being a pre-Nirvana style musical experience. It's not going to be popular at first, but let the genre kind of cycle its way back. And he was just like, no, my parents are rich. They bought me a brand new car. They have a rental house in Florida that I'm going to next week, and I only want really good artists to be there. And these guys just aren't it. Even though if I knew the name of the band, I would tell you, but I don't. That was back in 2009. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best critic on the planet, but I do have an ear for decent bands and decent music. But, yeah, to get it further into music and what I like, I enjoy Mongolian rock, as well as Gregorian chant music. You know, the ho, 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 you know, that. It's really funny. It actually is incredibly funny and incredibly relaxing. From forbidden bagpipe music to grunge to classical to rap, I try to listen to varying modes of music, and by try, I mean I honestly listen to them for, say, 45 seconds. There are certain songs you have to listen to longer than that, but as an average, 45 seconds is the new music. If it doesn't grab me in the first 45, I don't listen to it anymore. Probably the only exception to that would probably be Metallica, The Unforgiven 3. I'm not sure how long the intro goes, but once you get to the actual music of it, even my wife was like, she listened to it and she was like, this isn't Metallica. And then the classical music part of it ended, and it got to the rock part. She's like, okay, this is Metallica. And I'm like, yeah, you have to wait to the intro on this particular song. No other song takes as long to get there, but the song rocks. Okay, let's not get that wrong. A lot of people don't have the patience. I've run into thousands of people, well, in my case, it'd be hundreds of people now, who didn't know that they did an Unforgiven 3 because they couldn't get past the instrumental beginning of the Unforgiven 3, which I actually quite enjoy. It kind of lulls up on you, and then it gets to the hard metal part, and it's awesome. As a note of mention, I also went ahead and a friend of mine across the pond suggested Warhammer. Now, I remember Warhammer from back in the early 2000s, I believe, the early to mid 2000s, and they were pretty good. They sounded like a very early Metallica. And then they disbanded, or they stopped making music, then they actually disbanded, and then they got back together, and then they made a new album, and I have since listened to the new album. Me personally, I think the latest album from Warhammer, I think it's actually weaker than than the album before they broke up. And it's not being a judgmental dick about it. It's the quality is like, okay, we went from sounding like a young Metallica to this. And me personally, I'll give them credit. They did make a new album after disbanding and then coming back together. But do I believe it's like, holy crap, you need to go out and buy this? No, I do not. I downloaded their music, and I listened to the old album and the new album. The old album I was familiar with. It's kind of got that shock rock thing to it, like early Metallica. The second one was kind of a letdown, but it wasn't like you just toss a CD out. It's worth keeping. It actually is. I know, my eyes keep on going to over here to center right there. I am learning. Okay. But yeah, I get asked to listen to a lot of music by a lot of different people, and I've had people tell me, well, you're wrong. And I have no problem. I might be wrong. I could be very, very wrong about a certain style of music. But when I look back on the bands that I think, and I a long time ago, I used to write down the bands that everybody wanted me to listen to and listen to them. Oh, you gotta listen to this, they're awesome. And then I listen to it, and I can't stand the music. And I'm a rock and roller. I've been told to listen to thousands of rock and roll and heavy metal bands. A friend suggested Mongolian rock, so I looked it up on YouTube, and I found a couple different ones that were awesome. They really motivated. They had this weird didgeridoo style rhythm that I really enjoyed. And they're playing with a couple of instruments and a three-string, what looked to be mandolin. I'm not saying it is a mandolin, but I truly enjoy music, and I really, really enjoy good music. So that's why on most occasions I've started flipping Eminem's Godzilla into my mix and throwing Rap God back in the mix because they're both pretty good. I've thrown in a little bit of Nelly, select songs by Nelly, not the entire collection because not all the songs really resonate with me. And music is subjective like that. The same song that resonates with me doesn't resonate with you. Quite frankly, you, the viewers. Just like I was introduced to, as you know, blues, jazz, funk, everything growing up. I mean, at my mom's parents' house, it was honky tonk, hillbilly, and, listening to artists that have been dead for 10, 20, 30, 40, sometimes even 80 years. I listened to Chubby Checker, got to see him in person at Riverfest. Wasn't that impressed by him, but, it's a shout out to the older generation. I have seen DJ Grandmaster Flash perform at Riverfest, and what in the hell was the crowd thinking? Most of them didn't know what to think because they started booing DJ Grandmaster Flash. And this is a guy who listens to crap I don't even listen to. Like, he listens to everything under the sun. I got no problem with him listening to everything under the sun. But the crowd at one point, he actually managed to mix gangster rap with rock. And I told my wife I didn't like the sound of it, but it had promise as a sound. And the crowd at one point was booing him. But that's why music is so subjective. I mean, like, when I was working out of the gym, I was listening to my normal listening music, which is a hybrid of country, rock, heavy metal, industrial rock, grunge, especially a lot of Nirvana, yay, and mixed with some opera, like Andrea Bocelli, or what's her name who won America's Got Talent? I can't remember her name right now. White girl sang opera, awesome. She did the opera singing for, I believe it's President Trump's inauguration. I didn't like the inauguration. I just liked her singing. She actually sounded quite beautiful and lovely in that for being such a young operatic singer. When I started switching over, I learned that when I downloaded bagpipe music, and I mean not one or two albums, I'm talking 6, 7, 8 albums, and then put them on, hit the bagpipe music, hit the mix button to scatter them. It was actually pretty damn good for working out. I mean, I can listen to mumble rap. I mean, generally speaking, I like listening at a certain point to Busta Rhymes. Because around the turn of the century, he had some really good speed rapping going on. But, yeah, I tend to mix it up. I mean, when I want to, if I want to feel sorry for myself, I'll listen to some B.B. King, Muddy Waters, Dizzy Gillespie, and I finally listened to a guy who was supposed to be the holy crap end of blues. It's from 19-something, his very early record, but everybody keeps on saying in response to his music, he didn't sell a soul to the devil sold a soul to him. For the ability to play guitar and do blues. And I really did enjoy listening to that. I asked my friend Sprout for a list of people, which I still have to download. I haven't forgotten about that. There's been too much around here to do with the podcast, and then everybody wanting to wax methodical about everything going on in the nation without truly paying attention to certain undertones. it all gets lost in the mix, and that's why I made this part 1 and part 2 podcast about music. I have heard some of the greats, and I've also heard some of the worst. I have heard, like y'all remember that guy who's sang on American Idol, She Bang, She Bang, probably the worst album, probably the worst version of that song ever made. And then you follow that up with something like The Sound of Silence by Disturbed. I'm not taking away from Simon and Garfunkel by any stretch. Their song just doesn't hit me. It doesn't resonate with me the same way that Disturbed's version did. Disturbed's version shook my soul. It ripped my soul out, shook it, put it back, and said, piss off. I know that's a nice way of putting it, but yeah. Certain songs don't hit you the same way, you know? And yeah, at one point I even listened to Christian rock. I'm not a huge fan of Christian rock, but I have listened to it. But when people ask me to listen to music and they want my honest opinion, I literally ask most people, do you want my opinion or do you want my critical opinion? Well, what's your opinion? As your friend, it's all right. It's okay. I can rock out to it. Not that often. When I ask for my critical opinion, then it becomes a whole different matter, because then I'm evil. I was like, well, this band sucks. They could have gotten this part and this part and this part better, and this part is weak. Well, holy crap, you're anti... No, I'm not anti-anything. The only thing I won't listen to is certain forms of hardcore gangster rap, because most of what I hear of it, when I listen to the lyrics, and it's vomit. I'm not discrediting everything, because like you have Living Colour, Cult of Personality. I didn't even know they were. I didn't even know who they were. All I know is I was watching wrestling at the time, and saw CM Punk come out to that music, liked it, downloaded the song, no idea who the band was. Just looked it up, Cult of Personality. And then when I started doing research on it, after I listened to it 20, 30 times, I'm going to be honest, so let's be honest. I saw that they were an all-black rock group. Okay. It's a bit of a shock. And it wasn't the fact that they were black. It's the fact that they looked like the guys from Cool Runnings singing rock music. Their skin tone had nothing. It was like watching the guys from Cool Runnings do a rock video. Do I still think the song is awesome? Unquestionably. The song still gets your toes tapping, it gets you going, it gets you hyped up. And for some bands, you just don't know that. Like, I was highly disappointed in the artist formerly known as Lady Antebellum, who now goes by Lady A. Not because they changed their name, but why they changed their name. Like, when I heard of Lady Antebellum, my wife introduced me to them. Not personally, introduced me to their music. I went ahead and thought it was an odd name, so I went ahead and looked up the term, and the term is their name, Lady Antebellum. Had an irony chord with me. I laughed. I asked my wife if she knew what antebellum meant, and she said no. So I told her, and she's like, that don't make no sense. But they still make good music, so I'm not going to bash them. I thought the name was a bit odd. Now they're switching to Lady A because I didn't realize their antebellum was rooted in the South, or the Southern lexicon, the way it was. And I'm disappointed of why they did it. Not so much they did it. I mean, if they had chosen a week before to just say, okay, we're Lady A instead of Lady Antebellum, we just thought the name needed changing, totally would have been okay with it. Totally would have, I'd have been fine, not even hesitated. But you spent your entire career being Lady Antebellum, and then you change it to Lady A because of what's going on, because of racial motivation, because of racial reciprocation. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I don't like that reasoning. just come out and say we changed the name. And no, I'm not going to go on some weird diatribe offshooting. I'm literally sticking to music and the shit behind it. Now, my friend Sprout, he has come up with some amazing music, and I dig his stuff. Whenever he moves bands, I usually switch bands. It's not because I don't like the rest of the band. It's because I enjoy his music. Like when he did... shit. I'm trying to remember the name of the song, but he did a music video where he had a lady dancing behind him, and I was... Oh my god. I watched that thing 4 times. Like, literally, just hit repeat, listen to it. It was that good. It totally resonated with my soul. It totally resonated with me. I love it when a song can tug at your soul, pull it out of you, shake it, and put it back in you. That's when you know you've got a great song, in my opinion. That's why with Disturbed's The Sound of Silence, it grabbed me. I love the song. Hell, I have it on. When I listen to music, usually, even if I'm taking an hour-long bike ride, it plays 3 times. I enjoy the song that much. And I also enjoy following that up with The Light by Disturbed. You combine both those together, and they are amazing. You throw in The Unforgiven 1, 2, and 3 in sequence, in order, and then Nothing Else Matters. It makes a very, very uplifting yet really dark undertone to a very good message. I personally love it when it does that. Just like I like listening to Country Grammar by Nelly, and then following that up with Informer by Snow. And then if I'm feeling especially jumpy, skipping to Hollywood Undead, going to like Swan Songs, I believe the album is. That's probably their best album out yet, which was their first one. But yeah, I have certain songs in a sequence, just like when I'm listening to opera. I tend to start out with, what is it, La El Mobile, something like that. Dun 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 dun. I start out with that first off. Then I move on to more of the arias, more of the full-blown operatics, and not because I like listening to operatics, because the sound, it takes you on a journey. The first one's quick, witty, and whimsical, and takes you on a nice little floater that leads you on to the better songs. Just like if you want to feel really good about yourself, I would say maybe listen to Respect by the Godmother of Soul, Aretha Franklin. It took me a minute. Then follow that up with give me a second. I'm trying to think of the songs. Aretha Franklin, followed by Bitch by Meredith Brooks. Follow that up with Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Come to My Window by Melissa Etheridge. And I would say end all that out with Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. The Ronda Rousey opener, for those of you who know what UFC is and have watched it, that gives you a kind of a nice arc. You know, it gives you a really nice arc of music. You start out with a lament and end with fuck off and piss off, if you don't like who I am. And I adore that kind of shit. But like I said, I have a huge inventory of music. We've been getting into Celtic Woman or Celtic Woman a lot. We enjoy some of their songs. I mean, I still find it For me, it's emotionally disturbing to listen to their version of Amazing Grace. Not because it's bad, because my grandmother was we sang that at her wake. Everybody sang all 4 verses of Amazing Grace at her wake, and this is back in like the early '90s. Now, as far as what I would recommend listening to, you guys have to contact me on that one because I could think of a different set for each one of you. Not that most of you need it, like Laura Witham and Gregory Allen Manuel. They don't really need a playlist from me. But one of my wife's favorites is, what is it? I Can Only Imagine?
One of the songs, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of her favorite songs, especially when it's sung well. I downloaded the movie just for her. She's going to turn the sound on the TV, so don't worry too much about it. Yeah, I have some weird tastes, and even my 6-year-old comes in and, Daddy, you went from this to this. Why are you being weird? And I've told her a couple times, you can't have just this. What is it? Is it called Baby Shark?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a Baby Shark craze that was going around a while ago. My kids had never heard of it. None of them had ever heard of this song. And then all of a sudden, my youngest had, but we never listened to it here. It was just one of those things I didn't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about most of the kiddo things.
My other favorite song is Heaven.
Heaven?
By Kane Brown.
Oh, Kane Brown's Heaven. One of my wife's other favorite songs. And like I was saying last time, during my last podcast, I brought it up to her, and she agreed with me because we listened to country for a few hours the other day, since the last broadcast, mind you. And I told my wife, isn't it ironic how all these guys sound... there's even newbies coming in that sound like Darius Rucker and Kenny Chesney and Clint Black. That's his name, right? Clint Black? Yeah. I'm having my wife over here. See, she is telling me what I'm right and wrong about. She listens to country music. She listens to country and on occasion a little R&B. Me, I'm rock and roll and a little bit of rap thrown in.
Rock and roll. I just have my favorite people.
Yeah. She has her own picks. And that's okay. We actually get, for being such widely differing music choices, like, I really do like a lot of heavy metal, a lot of death rock, metal rock, industrial rock. Like, I like listening to Rammstein. She only likes one song from Rammstein that I'm aware of, and that's the opener for Triple X, Fear Fry, which means Fire Freely. She likes that song only because it's in that movie and it fits and it's industrial rock, but yeah, I'm not opposed to Rob Zombie, throwing a little bit of Marilyn Manson. In the same thread, I also have to mention Power Man 5000, because without Rob Zombie, Power Man 5000 wouldn't exist.
I do a lot of the older rock.
As my wife just says, she does a lot of the older rock. I don't mind doing the older rock, but it has to be the right kind of rock, because there's rockabilly, hillbilly rock. Yes, those are 2 different things, in case you didn't know. And they're just a lot. Like, we both... She likes Def Leppard. I'm not saying... I'm not saying Def Leppard is bad. I just don't listen to it all the time. I listen to the hair bands. Shit, I have Queen on autoplay on my MP3 player. But I can also listen to Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Whitesnake, Scorpions. I mean, you name the older hair bands, we have it on record. We have it to download, or we have it to put on our phones. But do I listen to that all the time? No. My wife's shaking her head, but yet barely ever listens to them. She listens to a lot of Celtic Woman. And she's like, mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, I know. Now, and Gaelic Storm, I'll put my hands up. They're awesome. I live.
I need to see if they have any more music.
Who? Celtic Woman?
Gaelic Storm.
I doubt it. She's asking about if Gaelic Storm has any music out. I don't know. I haven't checked in a while. I've downloaded most of their music, and now I'm done with it. Not because I don't enjoy the music, but I liked having that differential, because when my daughter listens to the music, it goes from literally bagpipes to Queen to Eminem, usually one of the safer songs. I don't let her listen to the extremely violent songs. Like, My Name Is, that's okay. She doesn't get the adult innuendo yet, so it's all right by me. But I want her to have a well-rounded musical education. It's not just Baby Shark and then the Lamb Chop song. Don't any of you repeat that crap or start singing it right now. I would kill you, okay? That is annoying. But yeah, I want her to be able to listen. I want her to be able to hear this, Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald, Muddy Waters, Dizzy Gillespie, Elvis. She already gets way too much Elvis. Her great grandmother listens to Elvis religiously. It's like all she listens to in the car. Because, oh my God, he was such a hottie back then. It's like, yeah, he's also been dead like 40 some odd years, 45 years. But then again, she's like 80, so go figure. Now, he's been dead since like 77? Yeah, it's like,
44 years.
yeah, 44, close enough, 45 years close enough, damn it. My wife's telling me how long it has been since Elvis died. But I would suggest if you're going to give classical education to any kid, you might start out with Chubby Checker, Fats Domino, I Found My Thrill, the original Found My Thrill, because everybody only knows I Found My Thrill on Blueberry Hill. The song goes way farther than that. I'm not suggesting to subject your any children to anything more mature than what they're ready for. But like my daughter, my oldest listens to a lot of alternative rock and a lot of heavy metal. Takes after me. Whereas the youngest usually likes listening to the mommy music, the country music, a lot of it. And she actually starts singing to some of the songs, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to touch that one. But yeah. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Hallelujah. The song Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah, I can't sing it that well because that song was more designed for a upper tone. That upper soft tone in the tenor and alto or soprano style. And there are tons of artists and tons of songs which have made a dent. And just like as a historical perspective, to show how far we've come, there is a song sung by Middle Eastern workers that's called the Shut-Off Song. I actually had a book which contained that title. It was one of the early versions of Guinness Book of World Records when it was still being made by the McWorthy brothers. But the Shut-Off Song has been recorded as one of the oldest songs in history. It's been sung since pretty much humans discovered that you can sing. So thousands of years of this song being sung. I still have to look up what the song actually says or means, but it truly is fascinating. Like, we have turning point songs like Message or Letter from an Angry American by Toby Keith. That was a turning point song, just like for me. Remember When, Alan Jackson, awesome song. Don't Take the Girl. That was I just lost a child when they started playing the hell out of that back in the end of '03, beginning of '04. I lost my shit. It was a very powerful song for me personally, and it was one of those songs that ripped my heart out, tore it to pieces, and then put it back together and says, "You can fix this." As insane as that sounds, that was a long time ago, though, too. But yeah, right now, the song I really enjoy listening to, if I'm going to listen to new age passe music when it comes to country, is what's it? "Rain is a Good Thing," I believe it's called. Yeah, "Rain is a Good Thing." Love that song. One of my older kids dedicated it to me, and it was truly funny. Now, I want you guys to think of your favorite song. Any of you listening to this, make a list of your own, and truly make a diverse list of songs that grab you by the shoestrings, or grab you by the heart, or grab you by your respective balls, so to speak, and have me listen to them. I know that sounds weird as hell, but I'd like to know what you guys consider great songs. I can leave a list if you guys want, but yeah, right now I could go on and on about music, but I'm not going to, seeing as this is already going on 36 and a half minutes long, and I still have to transfer it, compress it, and then let it go. But if you want to truly a song that'll make you go, "What the hell?" I didn't know about this till about, I don't know, a year ago, not even that. Listen to Lou Bega's Mambo Number 5. And then there's another song by Lou Bega, which is the companion song to that. I forget what the name of it is right now, and I can't access my phone because I'm recording for you. But yeah, Lou Bega made a companion song that goes along with that, and it's funny. You may not like the message in it, but it is actually funny when you listen to it. Who knows? Maybe on the next episode of me reviewing music, I might go over some Weird Al Yankovic, who is unquestionably influential, along with what is it? Cletus T. Judd is his name, right? Yeah, my wife knows everybody who's country. If she doesn't know it, it's beyond her. She even knows about Hank Williams III, which, if you're not into dark country music, I would not suggest you do. He is a very dark country musician, but he's also a profound songmaker. He does honky tonk, hillbilly, hellbilly, you name it. As far as country, he can dip into it. He's very good. He knows how to play every instrument in the on the stage, and yeah, right now I keep going back to classical for some weird reason. But if you're going to go with classical, I would suggest going with Brahms and Strauss right at the moment. Throw in a little Beethoven. I would suggest, if you want a hell of a laugh, you listen to people trying to mash up the Flight of the Bumblebee with other songs, because it becomes funny as hell. There's even a YouTuber who plays songs via piano. He's like Brazilian or some crap. Looks white. Yeah, I thought he was German. Then he speaks and you're like, he's not German. He's not even American. He speaks with a South American accent, which shocked me. Not because of my preconceived notion, because the way he dressed and the way he was playing it, I honestly thought he was a German pianist, But he plays all kinds of music. He plays theme songs you barely ever know about, like Zaastras of Thruster or whatever it is. But anyway, I'm going to conclude this podcast by saying, listen to more music. Please binge out on the rock. I highly advocate that. I think I'll start trying. I think next time, maybe, I'm not guaranteeing it, I think next time I'm going to cover some of my favorite movies and why I like them. I might. I'm not going to give you a dedicated thing for that, but it's whatever hits me. I got to write a few more ideas down that you're probably going to feel like I'm pulling you over the head with about current events, but I'm trying to shy away from the current events because, quite frankly, we're still in a position where things are being stupid. But I want to say thank you. I wish all of you to live a very long life. I don't want harm to come to any of you. I don't want harm to come to anybody unnecessarily. And yes, the wording is choice. Sorry. Now, when you guys listen to this, you can comment to the video. Whoever this gets listened to by, probably not very many people, because Anchor I have like 0 listeners, but I don't care. I actually enjoy doing this now more than I do commenting on Facebook. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to everybody who helped develop the ideas for this podcast, which of course is going to include Laura Witham, Gregory Allen Manuel, Amy Sonster and Son Smallway, my sister Leslie, my wife, my kid, Corey Morgan for the sprinkling of weirdness she adds to the whole mix, because sometimes she pops up and says some particularly bizarre, badass, bat crazy shit, but we're not going to hold that against her. Yeah, as far as shout-outs go, I think that's about all I got right at the moment. I mean, if Bob Hall listens to it, great. If he doesn't, whoop-de-doo. But anyway, you guys stay safe, and I really want you guys to share your gift of music with me, as I've shared some of my gift of music with you. If you guys want me to leave a list of, like, my favorite songs, go ahead, shout at me. If you guys want to know my particular favorites in a particular genre, I can do that. I am that well-versed in music. I mean, shit, right now oddly enough, I've got Rod Stewart's From the Ocean to the Sky, I Be Sailing in my head. I don't know why. Love the song, but yeah. If you guys want to hear one of my list of top people, go ahead and throw it out in the comments. Encourage more people to listen to it. I mean, even if I do swear, I mean, at least you know mine isn't a kid-based one. But yeah, I'll chat with you guys later. Please share and subscribe and like and comment everything. Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, in more ways than I can tell you. So have a good night and peace out. Bye.